The Flesh is Weak, written by me, Chris Carley, Chapter 5. The road trip down to college is surprisingly comfortable. I have finally granted myself access to all the money I made in junior college, with a strict budget that denoted how much I could spend on fun stuff. So Augustine and I go all out. Name brand fountain drinks, sweets we have no idea if we'll like, and even Mexican food for lunch at an actual restaurant. I always get enchiladas because they're a true determinant of how good a Tex-Mex place is. And Augustine generally gets fried chicken tenders. Augustine family is deeply Hispanic and she loves Tex-Mex, but is exacting in her standards of this as anything else. She won't even try a new place without seeing the kitchen. The looks the cooks and busboys give her are generally devastating. Fortunately, she doesn't notice. We have borrowed Augie's dad's car to preserve the experience of moving to college, though it's actually only a couple hours away. The whole idea of experiences and their preservation is important to Augie. Given her home life and her essential nature, she's a ferocious fighter when it comes to how things should be. Her dad is getting a ride to get the car next week. Augie's dad is a nice, normal, hardworking guy who doesn't get her at all. Her mother is an occasional presence in her life, but doesn't live with them. She deals with the chaos of her life by trying to only say things that are entirely true. I'm not sure I've ever seen her lie. The trip is powered by an aforementioned sugar and girl rock. We listen to all the Lilith Fair bands and a little of the more popular stuff. Augustine has very complicated criteria for her music consumption, so I let her pick the music. Sometimes I'll voice complaints and she'll adjust accordingly, following whatever algorithm her brain uses to process stuff. When you're used to just taking 5-minute drives across town, 2 hours feels like forever. I'm pretty sure we have 2 full sugar crashes in that time where we turn down the music and marvel at the places so close to home we've never even seen. There are a bunch of old cemeteries, and our itinerary, Augie's itinerary, allows us to stop at one. It feels like I should be afraid of cemeteries given my awareness of ghosts, but actually most dead people don't hang around where their body ends up, but where they died. The only time cemeteries are dangerous is when someone's recently been buried, and that's not a problem with ghosts. Nobody's been buried in these cemeteries for years, maybe decades. We spend half an hour wandering between the plots and trying to make up backstories of people just by their names. Augustine is really good at it, coming up with sordid histories and quirky deaths. Most of mine are just kind of sad. The sun is shining, the wind is blowing, we're standing in a graveyard. It's like we're the only 2 people in the world. After our allotted, and Augie documented and approved, 30 minutes, we trudge back to the car and reload on sugar again. The music starts up and I almost forget the quiet moment where we just stared off into the green, but somehow desolate emptiness between Texas towns. Maybe it's because it's summer and all the grass is dead and most of the trees are brown. I look at Augustine as she tosses her small body into the car. She's always so careless with her body, like it's just in her way. Maybe it is. Then the music starts and my introspection retreats. The rest of the drive is right out of the movies. We sing along to our favorite songs, playlist carefully curated by Augie's focus. We have our set parts in some songs, and while we're rarely in harmony, we fill each other's gaps. I'm sure that's probably a metaphor, but it's too deep for me. We arrive at the Mexican food place to see that it was definitely lying about being there for a long time. We eat satisfying, if not remotely authentic, Mexican food, and out of respect for me, Augie only sniffs indignantly a couple of times when they bring out the more outlandish perversions of her culture. It tastes like riches and freedom, though, and the day seems damned perfect. We have already discussed at this point, because of course we have, how the day will go. Augie has no furniture to unload because she's staying in a dorm. Texas has their prisoners make all dorm furniture, and I have no idea how to feel about that. Still, it means she only has personal effects to unload. This is maybe 4 boxes? I, on the other hand, have to meet a moving van my dad got me. This is a belated graduation gift for my 2-year degree. It goes dramatically against type in several different ways, but the discount Augie's dad got him. The new home office was formerly my room, and the realization that bills would be significantly decreased with my incredibly long hot showers eventually got him in a fairly chipper place about the whole thing. While he's awkwardly supportive and dad-like about it, I picture him immediately rubbing his hands together like a caricature of a supervillain when I turn away. Knowing all this, and desperately trying to stick to our meet new people and don't huddle together like hermits plan, Augie's going to drop me off at my new place, then go find her dorm. Not find her dorm, I feel I must clarify to myself. We're going to drive by together to make sure she knows where it is before dropping at her new place. She really hates getting lost. She likes to find a home base and then investigate in a radius from there. Without a base, she gets impatient, and the car doesn't count as base. Her place looks very dorm-like. Despite never going to college in our hometown, we are quite familiar with what the outside of our dorms look like. It's not new, but not ancient. Those glass walls on the stairways where you can see a bunch of people carrying furniture up the stairs. I quiet her minor panic about whether she's supposed to bring stuff, and we eventually decide it's just special people doing special things. That's generally how we address the fact that rich and privileged people don't tend to follow the same rules as everybody else. They're so special because of their parents, grandparents, etc. ability to acquire and hold on to money that the rules just don't apply to them. There are special people, and us, the plebes. That worry cast aside, she drives me to my new apartment complex. She lets me out and clambers out to give me a hug. It is awkward, like all of her hugs, but meaningful and powerful. We're both trying not to cry, but neither of us is particularly succeeding. It's a moment, okay? Full of joy and trepidation. I turn to face my new apartment complex. The moving van isn't here yet, and my new roommate has some sort of meeting until 3, so I'm alone and unencumbered. The freedom feels dangerous, but that just might be trained behavior. I see no dark shadows or evil monsters waiting for me, so I decide bravely, I think, to do a tour on my own. I cannot understand how much I am freaking out right now about how awesome this place is. There's a pool. My apartment has a pool. It has a business center and vending machines and a pool table and some other game I've never seen before. I knew this from pictures on their website, but pictures seem to always lie. Usually motels use stock photos from their fanciest facilities in distant Virgin Islands or Florida or those rich people places like Poconos and Hamptons and all the other places that I've heard about from television shows. But now I, Becky, heroine of Little People Everywhere, have a pool. I will have to see how wine coolers taste from beside it. I look at the pool table and the weird thing that looks like a shuffleboard game, maybe, but on the ground. I saw people play shuffleboard on a cruise on TV once. It looks fun, but I feel intimidated. There's no one in the office or business center, neither college student nor management. I'm not really sure what to do with myself. I didn't bring a book, and all my stuff is still on its way. I can't wait at the door because I don't want the new roommate's first impression to be some desperate loser crawling up on the dirty sidewalk. I settle into one of the chairs in the waiting area, or lobby, of the apartment office. I try to look relaxed and comfortable, but the television's off and there's nothing to do. I'm full of nervous energy. After about 10 minutes of this, I have curled my body unnaturally around the arms of the chair for fun. I've turned sideways with one leg through the hole in the armrest and another over the back of the chair as I lean against the other armrest. My arms are splayed haphazardly, with one offering a fabulous prize to the right, and the other with my wrist resting on my forehead like I'm a wilting Southern belle or some very sad The Cure fan contemplating the void. I'm actually fairly proud of this, as it's not easy to get this entangled in an overstuffed office chair. I hear the door open and someone comes inside. Probably a model, if I'm being honest with myself. She's at least 4, maybe even 6 inches taller than me. Blonde and tanned, wearing yoga pants and a tank top, with a colorful beach towel thrown effortlessly over her shoulder. I recognize that one because my mom has it. Snoopy. It would never look so good over my shoulders. She's been sweating, but it's Texas, so it really just adds to her magical glow. I immediately try to extricate myself from the chair, but I am cursed by my own success, and only manage to ooze out of it onto the floor. I'm lying there waiting for death when I hear her approach. "Are you okay?" she drawls. A mild Texas accent mixed with a touch of popular girl. "I didn't mean to startle you." I look up between my hands. I've covered myself in shame like a cartoon character. I accept her hand up and realize my estimation was right, significantly taller than me. Not that that's hard. "Thanks," managed to muster, moving from a mumble to what I hope is a sincere-sounding croak. "Really appreciate the help." She smiles sincerely. "I haven't seen you around. Are you new here?" Her towel looks really soft. I bet she uses fabric softener. "Yeah, I'm just moving in. I'm supposed to meet the apartment manager and my new roommate." I look at the clock on the wall. 10 minutes ago." She laughs, lightly, and not the cruel laugh I'm used to from attractive people. "That clock is always wrong. You're supposed to meet us in 3 minutes." I redden involuntarily, but smile defensively. "I wasn't saying you, or anyone, was late. I'm sorry." She puts up a hand. It's okay, Bex. You're not on trial here. My mind starts racing immediately. Bex. Bex? That is adorable. How could that be my name? Nobody's ever called me Bex in my entire life. I smile, for real this time, and offer my hand. So you're the apartment manager, huh? I say, thinking this is someone this cool couldn't possibly be a college student. She laughs again, her voice finally familiar, if lacking the weird electronic tone she had on the phone. No, you silly goose. I'm your roommate. I'm Charlene.